today's video, we are going to be watching what planes could be like if they were 10,000 times better.
What would it be like if flying were 10,000 times better than it is now?
Life would be so good.
All-you-can-eat buffet in flight.
I love it.
The rest of us. All you can eat.
Yeah, don't be mad.
Be upgraded so that you can actually lean back in your chair.
Agreed. I hate whenever I'm in a plane and then somebody in front of me uses their like little baby recliner so that they can go from this to this. There's not really that much of a difference. Plus, my knees are now getting crushed. So thank you very much.
3. The plane would pick you up at your house.
Okay, that's
to go to the airport.
pretty cool actually. But I don't know if that's possible.
The instructions here say a running start.
You just jump?
Not what planes are like, but, well, I fixed it. Yeah, that's right. Here's what I did with my very smart brain. Step 1, I made a list of things wrong with air travel. Step 2, I thought really hard with said smart brain. Step 3, I fixed all of those problems with my own design.
If any airport owners are watching this, please take this into consideration because planes are sometimes unbearable.
I just gotta say, my solution, it's gonna blow your socks off.
I believe it.
That's for later. First,
okay.
The TSA. When I think of the TSA, I think of that time that they thought I brought a bomb to the airport.
What?
I'll tell that story in a little bit. Something I've
Okay.
noticed about every airport that I've been through is that the security is never fully operational. The TSA people are always
That's
like,
true.
Go. I'm on the same page. I know there's people behind me waiting. We don't have to be all go. If we just open a couple more lanes, then people can rush less. And with less rush, people will make less mistakes.
I'm gonna have to agree with him here, but I also do think that the TSA is probably understaffed, which is why they can't have every single lane open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's just they don't have enough people. And I'm sure if it was up to the TSA workers, they would love to have more workers helping them out and operating more lanes so that people would get less mad and that the babies would stop crying and that the world would be a better place with more TSA workers. But I just don't think that the airlines want to hire more people because it costs money. So the money is the problem here. TSA needs more money. And in order to do that, I don't think it's ever going to actually happen because people do not want to spend more money on their plane tickets. So for these reasons, I do not think that the TSA is going to open more lanes. But I do think that it would make things a lot easier.
Hey, that guy didn't take off his shoes. Get him!
Also, yeah, does anybody watching know actually why you have to take off shoes? Because I have my clothes on, right? And I have a shirt, I have my pants on, I have underwear on like 95% of the time. So if I walk through the x-ray, they can see through all of my clothes and stuff. But what's the problem with my shoes? Why can't the x-ray just scan the things that I could be hiding in my shoes? Like, I'm not hiding anything, you know, don't tell anybody if I am, but still, like, they should be able to see in the x-ray if my shoes have some sort of mysterious bomb inside of them.
I mean, if you need more people, I can help. Put me in, coach. How hard can it be, huh?
It's pretty hard, actually. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever actually seen what the TSA people are looking at when your luggage is going through the big warp speed tunnel thing, but there's a lot of different things and they have to hit buttons so that they can go through the different layers to see what you have and to see all the toothpaste and all of the toothbrushes that you packed and all of your underpants and all of the weird stuff that you decided to bring on your trip to Mexico. But it's incredibly difficult to do it day after day and to like look at the stuff. It's probably very mind numbing looking at the same stuff 24 hours a day. So I get why the TSA probably, you know, is not the happiest most of the time because a lot of their job is the same thing over and over and over again.
What did you do? I don't know. The thing I have a lot of trouble with when doing the whole song and dance with security is it's never consistent. In one airport,
that's true.
But in another airport, you just don't have to do that thing. Okay, people, come on. Shoes off, hats off, electronics out. You, do a backflip.
A thing that I actually learned recently is that a lot of airports, they are different. A lot of airports have different machinery. A lot of them have different x-rays. So look for signs. There's going to be signs somewhere where you can see what you actually have to take out of your luggage, or if you have to take off your hat, or if you have to take out your laptop and batteries and stuff. Some of them you also can keep on your shoes, which is pretty exciting. I'm hoping that one day every airport will have that because I like keeping on my shoes.
Whatever. Different places, different rules. I just don't like the attitude. Don't roll your eyes at me because I keep my hat on when another TSA agent told me I don't have to 3 days ago. I get confused easily, and I have trouble following instructions properly. No, sir, your bag needs to go in the bag. You don't need to have such an attitude about it. Things you are allowed to bring and not allowed to bring also tend to trip me up. I get the majority of things you're not supposed to bring, like don't bring explosives. Not something I normally want
or knives.
Anyway, but yeah, I get it. There was,
Makes
however,
sense.
one time when the TSA thought that I brought a bomb. Kelly was in France for an extended time, and I was gonna go visit her for like a week.
Who's Kelly?
I wanted to bring her a gift. What about a nice, comforting scent from home when she gets homesick? A candle. Perfect.
I did this same exact thing, guys. I don't mean to cut off his story, but I where was I at again? I think I was in Mexico, actually, and I wanted to bring back something for my mom. So I bought her a candle in Mexico, not even like in the country. Well, I guess technically it was in the country itself, but I was in the airport, right? I already went through TSA and I got the candle in TSA thinking that I wouldn't have to worry about it because I know some things get weirdly categorized in the x-ray. So I thought to myself, if I buy it in the airport, then I'll be good. I already got through TSA. But then when I went back to where I live in the United States of flippin' America, they took my candle and they said, no, you cannot bring this into the country. I don't know why. They thought that I had a bomb in a candle or something. It was for my mom for her birthday, and I can't believe it, but they actually threw away my $35 York candle that I got in Mexico. Seriously?
I go through TSA doing my normal spiel of embarrassing myself while doing something wrong. But after I get through, excuse me, sir, could you step aside?
Beep,
One of the
beep, beep,
agents has
candle.
me stand near this table. He takes my bag, puts it on this table, and puts on blue latex gloves. Clearly, he's about to go through my stuff. I don't remember putting anything glove-worthy in my bag.
It's so humiliating when they go through your stuff.
In there that could be like a biohazard? Should have, though. Flight's gonna be long, and a snack would have been useful. Sir, are there any sharp objects, weapons, or explosives in your bag? No. Any lighters, matches, or...
Anytime they ask me that, I'm just like, there shouldn't be, but you never know.
Flammable items? No. Did somebody slip something in my bag? I didn't bring anything crazy. Could my switch explode? And then he pulls out my candle. I think he saw the confusion on my face because after he pulled it out, he said, don't worry, I'm not going to take your candle. What was the purpose of your trip? I'm going to see my girlfriend. That candle is for her. Okay, I'm just going to make sure there's no explosives in it, and then you'll be good to go. Explosives? In the candle? I know that candle is great, but I didn't know it was the bomb. Apparently what can happen is that explosives can be hidden inside of wax, which then can be used for exploding.
Did he get the candle back?
Break it or take it apart, but he just wiped it with a cloth, probably with bomb detecting juice. I'm just guessing that's a thing. I don't know. Then he gave me back my bag and my now freshly bomb juice.
Seriously? He got back his candle? My candle got thrown in the trash. Even when I talked to them, I was like, can you just keep the candle? Like, or you give it to your mom. They were like, no, sir, sorry. And then they threw it in the garbage.
Candle, and I was good to go. I have no idea what they saw in that x-ray, but it must have been weird. All of this is to say, I have a solution to make this process better, but it's only one of the pieces to the whole solution. I have more, I promise.
Next up, boarding.
The plane isn't really that good either. How long it takes to board the plane always takes a lot longer than I think it should take. It's a tight lane, so you can't get around other people when...
So before we go into that, before you even get on the plane, I always have problems with my carry-on bag. Not my checked bag, not my backpack, my carry-on luggage bag that is the perfect size carry-on bag because I bought it in the biggest carry-on size that they allow on pretty much every single plane. But like 40% of the time, before I even get on the plane, they tell me that my carry-on bag is too big and that I have to check my bag. And every single time I tell them, no, you don't understand. This is the perfect size carry-on. It's not too big. It's definitely not too small. It's the perfect size. And then every time without fail, I have to shove it into the bag check thing, which is always super disgusting and rusty. And it has this like weird fart smell to it. And every single time I shove my bag in there and I feel like I am Thor picking up Mjolnir for the first time in the first ever Thor movie. Like everybody looks at me like, oh my gosh, like how did he fit his bag into the carry-on bag department hole filler thing? And then they look at me and they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess you're good. And I have to do that every single time almost, which is insane. And that's before I even get on the plane.
When you're shuffling in. And for some reason, there's always someone who doesn't know how to put the square in the square hole. All right, let's step aside. Let me do this.
You put it in, and then you twist it. And then, yep, that's it. Or that.
I don't know either. Sometimes I wonder if it'd be better if people had to pass a test before getting on the plane. Who's gonna go first? Hey, he can't talk to you like that. Sir, please complete your test before proceeding. Stupid. But I thought of a solution that makes boarding painless and instant. And that's two solutions.
Why does the puzzle not fit together?
Seating, of course, is the next issue of flying. Got the aisle seat, the middle seat, and the window seat. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna do a tier list of plane seats. Aisle is A tier, window B tier, middle is F tier. Okay, thanks for coming to my tier
that's
list
it.
video.
If you disagree with that, comment down below.
A lot worse compared to the other seats because no one respects the armrest rule.
Also, before we get into actual, like, the different aisle and window and middle seat, I don't understand why they board the plane from front to back. They should board back to front. That way, people can go in and they don't have to walk past the people that have sat before them. It is the most embarrassing, awkward thing walking through first class, and first class is looking at you like you are broke and have negative $1,000 in your bank account, and people are just staring at you. Nobody is minding their own business. It's like the only time in human civilization society where it is okay to get stared at by strangers, and then I feel like I'm getting shamed every time because I am in seat 34D and they're in seat like 2F and they're way cooler than me every single time. And then I feel bad. And then I get to the back of the plane and then there's nowhere left to put my check-on bag. So then I have to put it under the plane with the checked bags. So the thing that I was talking about earlier was all for nothing.
The window seat gets
so
the
sad.
Window, the aisle gets the wiggle room, and the middle gets both of the armrests. Because that's fair. Also, look at what planes used to be. Ample leg room, more arm space.
That was a plane?
At least they give us the little iPad thingies in the back of the headrest.
I love the iPad.
The future is worse, but also a little better. For this one, I think there's kind of an obvious solution that I think you'll enjoy. Next up on things to be solved is fear. How can you do that, Andy? How
What?
can you claim such things?
What do you mean?
It's all about the turbulence. You know, I think, Andy, just get it together. It's just turbulence. But honestly, it's pretty reasonable to be fearful of turbulence. A lot of things have to go right for us to stay up. It's hard flying. As of today, the best thing I can do is browse brain rot content on TikTok, which puts me in a weird trance-like state. It's not a perfect solution, but it gets the job done.
Guys, I want you to comment down below. Do you get scared flying in planes? And do you get scared of the turbulence? I used to when I was younger, but then I started to tell myself that planes are actually like the most safe way to travel. And even if there is turbulence, it's really normal. It's kind of like hitting a speed bump whenever you're driving in a car. And most of the time, if you hit a speed bump when you're driving in a car, you don't start panicking. But there's something about being in a plane when you hit some turbulence that it's a lot more terrifying than hitting a speed bump in a car.
I believe there is a much better way to remove fear altogether for those of us who have a tough time with it. Adding to the pile of solutions we have, we are almost at a complete, perfect flight experience.
None of those
We are
puzzle
nearly
pieces
there.
fit together.
Just as a quick aside, this one's not really the worst thing in the world, and I don't want to be such a negative Nelly, but when I choose the Sun Chips as a snack on a flight and then I open it up, sometimes there's only
S-tier
like 3
chips.
in there. It's just not that many chips, and if you're watching this and you work at the Sun Chips factory, just like...
Add more chips.
7 more chips.
Add more.
Okay, moving on. Now that we know all the problems, it's time for the solution that's 10,000 times better. There's nothing, because it's conceptual. Like, I gotta walk you through it. First, security. Can I go home? No, I'm getting to the good part. Should we just add more lanes to make things go faster? No, that's too simple. And thinking small. Instead, we remove the security altogether. When you walk into the airport, you are immediately scanned with a powerful, possibly military-grade X-ray machine equipped to detect any possible contraband or illicit substance such as dangerous.
I see a couple issues.
Candles. Now there's no waiting in line. You just walk in and you're good. Incredible.
I mean, that's kind of how it was, like, you know, pre 9/11. You could just walk on and then there was really not security, but then 9/11 happened.
Amazed by my own genius. Boarding. You're wondering, how could he possibly imagine a solution to this? There's only one person allowed at a time. You can't squeeze people past each other. It's too narrow. Ye have little faith. See, the problem is that the plane only has one door and one lane. This forces us to have narrow thinking, much like the narrow aisles in the plane. So we need to open our minds and open the plane from the side.
What?
could just board at once. I
No.
also updated the seating
No.
If you take the cross-section of the front of the plane, it would look like this. But Andy, what does this do to the middle, window, and aisle seat conflict? It just eliminates it. If we just put a big old window right here, everybody then has a window seat.
Wait a
everybody has an
second.
aisle seat, and the middle seat just doesn't exist.
He might be onto something.
Sorry, I got a little carried.
That would be kind of weird though, because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm sitting sideways in a vehicle that's going straight, I start to get like really bad like motion sickness. So I don't know if I would like that. I mean, I would want to test it, but I've done that in trains before where you sit sideways and you look out a window, and for some reason it just makes my brain make myself sick.
The immediate question that this raises is, does this fit the same amount of people as a normal plane? I don't know. I didn't check. I'm a visionary, not a scientist. Small minds would say. Impossible to solve, but you forget that... Here we have a simple cryo chamber. For a simple upcharge, select passengers can upgrade their seats from economy to cryo chamber.
Cryo chamber?
Flash frozen at a good enough success rate to be stored in the lower section of the plane
frozen?
until they are unfrozen upon arrival.
Are we talking about like in the movies, like in Interstellar and The Martian, where you go into space and then in order to make your body experience time a little bit quicker, you go into the cryo chamber and then you go to sleep and then you wake up and then it's like 100 years later? Is that what we're talking about here? Because I don't know if people are going to want to sign up for that, because I'm pretty sure if you get frozen alive, you might not wake up.
Can't be afraid if you're not conscious. And then one last thing for food and snacks.
Yeah.
Pneumatic tubes that can deliver beverages and snacks on demand.
I like that. That's a fantastic idea.
We have changed air travel for the better forever. Thanks for watching.
Okay, guys, that is how air travel could be better. I honestly just feel like he described trains, in all honesty. There's no security. You sit sideways, you look out the window, and there's no real bumps or scary things that could happen. So I really feel that like there should just be more trains, and that's the solution. Thanks for watching.